So, what about those who remain stranded in Afghanistan? Among those who were left behind are a number of school children and their parents from El Cajon in California. On August 18th, Joe Biden said he would extend the deadline in order to get all American citizens out. But these people were left behind. There are efforts underway to get them out, but as we discussed, not easy when the airport and the borders are closed and the Taliban are sending their mixed signals. So we can speak to Dr. David Miyashiro. He's the superintendent of Cajon Valley Union School District, who's involved in the efforts to get the students home. Welcome to the programme. Tell me who these students are. What's their background? Why were they there?
The students that we're talking about are students of ours in the district, ranging from preschool to high school. And we are home to about 500 families from Afghanistan, many of whom formerly served the U.S. military or U.S. embassy and have special visa status. And typically, our families will go home over the winter and summer breaks to see their grandparents. COVID has dampened travel a bit, but I know several of our families were anxious to see their loved ones this summer.
So they're a mixture then. They're joint nationals. Some of them are American citizens born in America. The American citizens that Joe Biden said he wouldn't leave behind.
Exactly.
Does that make you angry?
Well, I don't want to cast blame and point fingers, but we're not telling the truth. And the numbers that they talk about, 200 to 300 Americans, is farly misrepresented. Just in children alone, there are several thousand from the United States in the same circumstance that no one is looking for and no one's talking about. And the number of U.S. citizens and SIVs that are there are between 20 and 30,000 based on the estimates of intelligence we have here in the United States, but also on the ground in Afghanistan now.
How many, just remind me, how many of the children do you think there are then there? Do you have an accurate number now?
So we had eyes on 24 of our students. We're home to 500 Afghanistan families. There are 150,000 plus in the United States, 60,000 just in California. And we know it's typical for families to go home. We got word yesterday that a district in Sacramento, Northern California, has 24 students stranded there now that were left behind. And the number is going to continue to grow as school districts realize their students aren't in their classrooms. But The real story is those invisible Americans and SIVs that are currently there.
Stay there for us, if you will, because I want to bring in Amanda Matti. She's an Iraq War veteran and author who's now helping with efforts to get Afghans and dual nationals out of the country. Thank you for being with us, Amanda. I know you've relocated in recent days to LA, I think, to really help with the situation on the ground. You're working with an informal sort of setup to offer people advice on the ground. What do you know about the location of these children and families? Are they dispersed all across Afghanistan?
They're, of course, mostly concentrated in the Kabul area, but yes, there are many across Afghanistan.
So what advice can you give them?
Right now, we're kind of in a holding pattern since military operations have ceased and, of course, the airport has shut down. There are no active evacuation options right now, so we're just kind of telling people stay safe, shelter in place, move around if you need to stay safe. And we're kind of waiting until hopefully HKIA opens back up again, which there is chatter across our channels that will happen soon, especially with the Qatari technical group landing there this morning.
Yeah, right. So the airport the civilian airport may be reopened. I mean, there is some traffic that's leaving from Mazar-e-Sharif airport, but I guess it's difficult to get there.
Yes, and that's very unofficial traffic. It's very limited in where they're going, very limited intel on even, what exactly is happening there, who exactly is running that airport. So we're definitely not advising anyone to go there. And of course, there are multiple checkpoints between Kabul and Maz to get there.
Yeah. David was just saying that he is frustrated. Naturally, he's frustrated because the American people were given a promise by the president that he would leave no one behind. How much help are you getting specifically? And I know there's a whole group of veterans involved in this, but how much help are you getting from the State Department?
Well, right now I work at the Evacuate Our Allies Operations Center in downtown LA, and they're a project of the Pacific Council on International Policy, and we are a coalition of multiple NGOs, nonprofits across the nation and the globe who have kind of come together with our focused mission of we need to get out our citizens, our green card holders, as well as our allies who helped us and have applied for SIVs or are SIV eligible. So right now we're basically just working as liaison. We do have a 24/7 operations center where we're fielding calls from families on the ground, asking us for advice, help, and assistance. And we are just trying to play as middleman to link them with resources and assistance to keep them safe until we can get them an option to get out of the country.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that, and thank you for the work that you're doing. David, does that reassure you somewhat? Are you able to put your people in touch with Amanda's group?
I would love to speak with Amanda as soon as we're done with this story, yes.
Okay. Well, hopefully we've put you both in contact. Thank you both for coming on and explaining the story. We're very grateful.
Thank you.
Do stay with us on BBC News. Still to come.